Hello everyone. Sorry, I got super sucked into a training by Anna Hughes that I'm definitely going to share on the team page. I'm not quite done watching it. There's about 8 minutes left or so, but I figured I should probably stop watching it and get on here. So I'm going to share it on the team page because it is so good. Like, it just is lighting my soul on fire, this training that I was just watching by her. It's about excuses and how your excuses basically suck, and she's very tell it like it is, and she is very good about kind of overcoming your excuses and telling you, you know, basically to suck it up because everyone has excuses. So I'm definitely going to be sharing that on the team page because that was so good. I could not stop watching, you guys. So that's why I'm a little late, and I did stop watching. I have like 7-8 minutes left, like I said. So I'm excited to share that and to finish watching it. So, and another quick update, the post that I made earlier about making sure to get your orders in, you guys, that's for multiple reasons. One being that the system is slow on the last day of the month and you don't want to wait until the last day to like be pushing to get your numbers. Like, you should never be waiting until the end of the month to hit your goals. Yeah, her training was so good. And then number 2, because if you wait, you might think that you're closer than you are, but you might have like some licensed items in there, or who knows, you know, something, it might just not be adding up the way that you think, and you might be short of your goal that you wanted to hit, and then you're shit out of luck, you guys, for lack of a better word. You are out of time, you don't have time to like contact anyone else. You're like, oh my gosh, it's 10 p.m. and now what do? I'm $200 less than I thought, or I'm $5 less than I thought, and you're going to be out of time. So you don't want to wait until the last minute. Also, because like I mentioned, the system will not update correctly or on time or those kinds of things. So you're not going to be able to see your most up-to-date numbers either right away. So there's that too. Also, another reason why you don't want to wait is because if you are closing out a party, you need to contact that person first thing in the morning to tell them what their host rewards are. You cannot expect to close a party with a host at 5:00 p.m. tomorrow and expect that they will get back to you within an hour of what they want for their host rewards. You guys, that is so silly if you wait to do that, because I cannot tell you how many times I have to remind my hosts to get me their list. I even had to remind my mom when she had a party for me, of getting me their list of what they want for host rewards. So you need to be contacting your hosts. If you're closing out a party for anyone, you need to be closing it out first thing in the morning, contacting them to let them know how much they have in host rewards to use. And I just noticed this is going to drive me crazy, but whatever. Contacting them to let them know how many host rewards they have to use, and you need to tell them that they need to get back to you by like 5 or 6 p.m. at the very latest so that you can put that order in. Because like I said, if you wait until 5 p.m. to be like, okay, no more orders, and then you tell your host like, hey, okay, here's how many host rewards you have. You have $30 in free product, and I need you to tell me in like the next hour what you want to get. Like, holy, okay, let's pressure our host while we're at it, for 1. And then 2, let's expect them to just figure out what they want and get back to us right away. That's silly. Okay, so get them closed first thing in the morning, contact your host, get their list for what they want for host rewards if you are doing it for somebody else, you guys. I cannot stress that enough, okay? Or things will sell out. Things might be pulled out of your cart too. So as we all know, things like that. So anyways, if I look down a little bit, don't mind me. It's just because I have like my little notes. So you guys, I could go on and on and on and on and on about mindset. Like, I could literally talk about mindset for days and for trainings and trainings and trainings on end. So I probably will do more trainings on mindset, just because like this is something that I am super passionate about, is the mindset portion of selling and direct sales and just life in general, I guess. That I seriously could talk about it forever. Just for instance, this training that I was watching earlier, it kind of goes hand in hand. She was saying, you know, like the excuse that nobody wants to buy from me. She's like, okay, well, you know, that's something that you're telling yourself, that's something in your head. Like, who is everybody? You haven't talked to everybody, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's for another day. But like I said, I'll share that link. So, on average, did you guys know I have to just make a note to make sure that I remember to post her video. Did you guys know that on average per day, you think about 85,000 thoughts on average a day? 85,000 thoughts, okay? And there's been studies that have shown that 80%, this is probably more for women than men, I would say, but 80% of those thoughts are repeated, regurgitated thoughts that you've already thought before, they're just in your head. So 80% of your 85,000 thoughts are repeated throughout the day. And 90% of those 80% are negative. Okay, so 90% of your repeated thoughts are negative. And if you're thinking 85,000 thoughts a day, that's a lot of negative thoughts a day. Okay, so network marketing, it's kind of like, how can I explain it? It's kind of like running. Okay, so when you run, 90% is mental. 90% of running is in your head, especially if you're running a race or, you know, a marathon or whatever the case might be, or even if you're just trying to run a mile, 90% of that is going to be mental, whereas the rest is going to be physical. So like 10% is going to be physical, okay? So network marketing is kind of like that. 90% of it is mental, 10% of it is the physical work, the actual work that you have to do. Anyways, that was just my little random note in there too. But, okay, so back to the 85,000 thoughts a day. See, I get sidetracked, that's why I have notes. But your negative thoughts are more sticky. Your brain pays more attention to your negative thoughts because it's just a natural reaction for your brain to want to avoid threat, to avoid danger, to avoid, you know, you getting hurt, to just avoid all of those things. So your mind pays more attention to those negative thoughts and holds on to those negative thoughts more than the positive thoughts. And I think that I've heard that it takes like 5 positive thoughts to overcome a negative thought. So you have to think, if you're thinking so many negative thoughts a day, like, oh my gosh, I'm late to work. Oh my gosh, my car won't start. Oh my gosh, I didn't get my coffee this morning. Oh my gosh, my hair doesn't look good today. Oh my gosh, my makeup's not working. Oh my gosh, the dog peed on the floor. Oh my gosh, the baby threw up all over. Oh my gosh, you know, there's so many negative thoughts that people think every single day that it's going to take you 5 positive thoughts to get over that. So having a positive mindset is going to be something that really takes a lot of practice. It's going to take a lot of effort for you to really dig in and make sure that you are constantly working on a positive mindset instead of a negative mindset. And I will say that negative mindset / excuses, they go hand in hand, that is 95% of the reason that people fail. In network marketing, in direct sales, in Scentsy, in anything, is because of the negative mindset and the negativity and the excuses. But if you really take the time to like pay more attention to your positive thoughts, and you know, then how do I want to explain this? Mindfulness, okay? Mindfulness is like really just taking the time to sit and think about things before just going straight to the negative. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, how can I look at this as a glass half full instead of half empty kind of situation? When I ask you things like, how do you feel about sales? How do you feel about recruiting? How do you feel about your growth with Scentsy? How do you feel about your goals? Those kinds of things. When I ask you those kinds of questions, like what kind of triggers in your head? Like pay attention to what triggers in your head. You might be thinking something negative and you're not even realizing it, but once you stop and really think about what you're feeding yourself is when you can stop and change the way that you're thinking and really change your mindset and change that into a positive instead of a negative. I already talked about the 5 positive, overcome a negative. Okay, so let's say for instance, here's a story, okay? So you wake up and you say, today is going to be the day. Today I'm going to promote to star consultant. Today I'm going to recruit 2 people. Today I'm going to talk to 10 people about hosting a party. Today's the day, blah, 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 okay? You wake up, you have those thoughts, great, okay? Then you go outside, the first person that you see, you're like, oh, that girl could work. Maybe I could talk to that girl. And then all these thoughts start running through your head. Oh my gosh, wait, I'm not ready for this. Oh my gosh, what do I say? No, if I say that, I'm going to sound stupid. Oh my gosh, wait, I don't have my makeup on today. Oh, I don't really look that good. Oh, I didn't bring my samples. Shoot, I can't talk to her. Oh, wait, but, blah, blah, blah. Like, all these things will start running through your head. Negative, 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 negative. All of those things, it's all just avoidance, and it's all your brain doing that natural response to kind of protect you from danger. Like, oh my gosh, this could be dangerous. This could be scary. What if she says no? What if she doesn't like me? What if she's afraid? What if she's annoyed? Blah, blah, blah. All of those things, you're going to start coming up with all of these other reasons. Like I said, that she doesn't need it. She doesn't want to hear me. She doesn't need this. Like, she has a nice bag, so she doesn't need network marketing. Or she has an expensive car, so she doesn't need network marketing. Or I didn't, like I said, I didn't bring my samples. Whatever the case might be. Those are all just avoidances in your head. That's all something that you're just telling yourself and you're just creating in your own mind. I don't know, and all of that energy does is cause you to hesitate, and hesitate causes negativity. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Mel Robbins 5-second rule, but that's like where she basically explains the whole thing about how you have 5 seconds to make something happen. And if it's like you count back from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just do it, because then it's like that 5 seconds, after that 5 seconds is when your fear is triggered in your brain. So if you don't do something within that first 5 seconds, then that's when all of those thoughts start coming in, and all of that negativity, and you really start thinking about, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, okay? So all those negative thoughts really start hitting you after that 5 seconds. So like, you really want to take action in that 3 to 5 seconds and do that. I really highly recommend the Mel Robbins 5-second rule. It's a really great book. Anything that you find and can read from her on Google or anywhere is awesome about the 5-second rule. And all of that stuff is destroying your business. It's causing you to self-sabotage. It's causing you doubt, avoidance, procrastination, etc. All of those kinds of things. Sometimes you're not even aware, like I said, that you're thinking those thoughts. So if you just really take the time to sit and think about things before, there's a fine line. Okay, so I said 5-second rule, and then I said sit and think. But those are two separate things. It's 5 seconds to do something before you get afraid. But once you get afraid, then it's a matter of the mindfulness and thinking about things before you just go into the negative headset, if that makes sense. Something that you can do to help that is stop every half hour. If you guys have an Apple Watch, there's like a breathe reminder. You guys, that is so good for your brain and for your health, for your mental health, for you to just sit and take that breath for a minute and just re-energize, refocus, rethink things. Okay, that's another thing too. Like I said, I have so many topics that I could go off and on about this. Okay, so my 5 tips for creating a positive mindset for success in network marketing. Okay, I'm going to dive into these just a tiny bit, but I don't want to keep you guys too late tonight. So the 5 things. Number 1 is to hang around the right people. And I know that I have maybe talked about this before, or posted something about this before, but I don't know if you've ever thought about the people, you guys, that you're actually hanging around with and how much they influence you. And not like when someone, makes a recommendation or whatever, it's like the 5 people that you're actually spending the most time with. There's that saying that you are a mixture of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. So I always say, like, you want to surround yourself with people who are positive, people who are forward thinkers, people who have a growth mindset, people who want to be successful, and not people who are negative, not people who are constantly airing their dirty laundry on Facebook. You guys, our customers see that stuff. Like, what you put out there is out there forever. So if you're sitting there and complaining and just, like I said, being negative all over Facebook, you guys, customers are going to see that. That's going to radiate. That energy is going to get out there, and that negativity breeds negativity. You guys, I cannot stress that enough, that if you're out there and like, oh my gosh, like, I just can't get anything right. Like, my car doesn't work, and my kid did this at school, and my dog chewed up like 2 things the other day. You guys, if I just went and got on Facebook every time that my dog chewed something up, like, holy cow, you guys, that is just ridiculous. You don't need to be telling people on Facebook about that, okay? You want to be positive. You guys, positivity breeds positivity, just like negativity breeds negativity. So number one, hang around the right people. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with those people who are doing the right things within their business, who are wanting to succeed. Like I said, if you're surrounding yourself with people who are just like, meh, then you're going to be meh. Okay? So it's like, what's that other saying too? It's like, if you hang out around 5 people who are grateful or something, I don't know. I'll have to find it. But it's like, it's this whole long thing. I just shared it the other day, I think. Not on here, but on my Instagram. I can't remember. Anyways, number 2, become a lifelong learner. You guys, you can never not want to like stop learning. And this again is positive mindset. Like, learning doesn't mean that you're not doing something right. Learning doesn't mean that you're not being a good person or that, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, you should always want to be learning, like a mindset of learning. You need to always be constantly learning things, doing new things. Like, I learn something new every day in this business. I try to learn something new, even just in life in general. Like, read a book, or like I go on Google and find something. Like, try not to learn stuff on Facebook, because then you'll just go down a rabbit hole of scrolling. And Facebook is probably not the most reliable way to get new information, but make sure that you're constantly trying to learn and grow and improve yourself, or watch a documentary or something. You know, you always want to be improving yourself, and that has a lot to do with your mindset too, you guys, okay? Number 3, overcome limiting beliefs, okay? So learning and limiting beliefs go hand in hand. In order to learn, you have to get past your limiting beliefs. That's the very first step. Henry Ford is the one that said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I truly believe that. If you tell yourself that you can't do it, guess what? You're probably not going to do it. If you tell yourself that you're a bad recruiter, guess what? You're probably going to be a bad recruiter. If you tell yourself that you're not good at parties, guess what? You're probably not going to be good at parties. So you need to start changing those things and just telling yourself that you are good at. You guys, I have a vision board where I have things that I know are not true yet, but I have them up there. I have promoted to superstar director on my vision board right there. I have a team of 300 right there on my vision board. Guess what? We're at like 280 right now, okay? So I have those things up there so that I can work towards them, so I can tell myself that, even though I know it's not there yet. If I keep telling myself those things, then eventually it's going to come true. Eventually, that's like manifesting too. That's going into like a whole nother thing. But it's that mindset that I can do this. I can do it. I know I can. It's there. I see it. It's not that far away. I can do it. You guys, you have to tell yourself that you can do it. I cannot stress that enough. If you're the type of person that doesn't do something because you think you can't, then guess what? You're not going to do it, okay? So like, what's stopping you from talking to people about Scentsy? What is it? I want you to think about what is stopping you from talking to people about Scentsy. You know, there's excuses like people who want to succeed, but they say things like, I can't talk to people about my business. I'm not a salesperson. I can't find the time. Oof. Guys, can't find the time. That's like my number 1 biggest pet peeve ever in the world. If you know me, if someone says they don't have time, because I'm like, you guys, I was working 4 jobs. Not anymore. Now it's just 3 jobs. But still, I was working 4 jobs and I found a way to make this Scentsy business work. So do not tell me that you don't have time. You guys, I wake up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning to teach classes in the morning, and then I'm not in bed until 10 or 11 p.m. Now that I'm not working 4 jobs, now it's closer to like 9:30 or 10 that I get in bed, which is nice since I have to wake up so early. But you guys, I don't want you to say I don't have the time, okay? That drives me berserk. Literally drives me crazy. If you tell yourself that you cannot do something, then you've failed before you've even started. You have failed before you've even given yourself a chance. If you say that you can't do it or that you're not good at it, you're failing yourself right there. You're setting yourself up for failure if you tell yourself that. So some things that you can work on to change those beliefs is write down what your limiting belief is so that you can change it. So this means if your limiting belief is, I'm not a good recruiter, write that down. I'm not good at sales, write that down. I don't know anybody, write that down. Those are your limiting beliefs. And again, your limiting belief can be whatever, but those are just examples to kind of give you an idea of what you should be writing down. And then after you write down that limiting belief, write down why it's important to change it. You guys, if you started this Scentsy business, it's like you're not just doing this for you. Like, yeah, you might say that you're doing it for you, but really what is going to come if you make more income with Scentsy? Is your family going to benefit from that? Are your kids going to benefit from that? How are you going to benefit from that? How, you have to think about all of those kinds of things too. Like, there was a reason why you started Scentsy. Like, don't give up on that reason, you guys. Like I said, you're going to fail yourself before you even get started. So please do not do that. Do not fail yourself before you even start. That is just so silly. So write down why it's important to change it. And then write down right after that an empowering version of that belief. So if you write down that I'm not a good recruiter, write, I am a great recruiter. Okay? Use the visualization that, that manifesting, those kinds of things. Positive affirmations to make sure that you're finding, that inner strength within you, that power, whatever you want to call it, within you to really come out of your comfort zone and to tell yourself that you can do this. I am a rock star at this. And then you have to work on personal development, like I already said, because that helps strengthen your mind, helps strengthen everything, okay? Your mind is a muscle. Your mind needs to be worked out just like anything else in your body, okay? Number 4, I'm almost done, you guys, I swear. Number 4, establish a support system, you guys. This has a lot to do with your mindset as well, because if those people around you that are your support system are telling you that you can't do it, then you're going to think that you can't do it, of course. So you want to find people who are going to tell you that you can do it, and those kinds of people who are going to say, like, you are really good at this, like, you're doing the right thing, keep going, keep going. And I hope that that's what I provide to all of you. I hope you know that I am definitely here as a support system, but you also have to find other people around you in your family or your friends or your teammates or other network marketing companies who are your friends. You know what I mean? Just find someone who can be a support system, who's going to cheer you on no matter what. And that's not going to tell you like, oh my gosh, you're spending too much money on this. Oh my gosh, I think this is silly. Oh my gosh, I don't think you can make that work. Oh my gosh, I know someone who tried that and they just like they didn't make any money with it. Okay, well, that was them. That's not you, okay? You are your own person. Find your own support system that are going to support you. So that's number 4. And my last one, number 5, is to create good habits. Again, create good habits with your mindset, with your life, with everything in general. So if you've ever looked at, like, let's say a top Scentsy earner, okay, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be where they are. You guys, I even hear it. Like, oh my gosh, that's goals. Oh my gosh, I want to be where you are someday. Okay, so you look at that and you say, I want that too. I want to be there. I want to do this. I want to make that much money, blah, blah, blah. Instead of looking at what that person has and what they're getting, examine their habits. Examine their daily habits and what they are doing to get to that level. So this is just an example, and this has nothing to do with Scentsy, okay? But this is just an example that I've used before. So let's say that you want to lose 40 pounds, okay? Every time that you see a fit or average weight person in your mind, you get jealous. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to look like that. I want to do that, blah, blah, blah. Instead of thinking about how good that person looks, think about what they do to get to that and how you can get to that. So it's the same exact thing in Scentsy. I use that example because I feel like that's easier for you to like comprehend than it's like a better comparison than trying to explain it within Scentsy. But, so it's, what is that top earner? What is that superstar director doing? What is this person doing that I see killing it over here? You guys, there are people that sell $30,000 in PRV a month. Like, insane, okay? So don't tell me that you can't do it. Don't tell me you can't sell $200, you guys, okay? There's people that are selling $30,000 a month, all right? And so there's also people out there making $30,000 a month. So what is that person doing? You have to look at that person and see what they're doing. One person that I really look up to is Chloe Cox. She's a freaking rock star, and I think that maybe I look at her just because she's closer in age to me than some of the other superstar directors, and I think that I just really click with like her personality and the way she trains and her kind of no BS attitude. So you want to look at those people that you look up to and see what they're doing and see what their habits are. If you're not doing what they're doing, then you're probably not going to get to where you want to be. Granted, you can do it your own way, but you still want to see what they're doing that's making it work. So start incorporating those habits into your life. And, you know, obviously, like I said, change it up so that it fits your lifestyle, so that it fits your things. But one of the key habits to develop to be successful in any network marketing company is persistence and consistency. You guys, I cannot stress that enough. If you are giving up after 3 or 4 months of doing this business, that is not enough time to see if you will truly be successful. You guys, consistency is key. I cannot stress this enough in anything, in posting on Facebook, on posting on Instagram, in contacting people. You guys, I've shared examples where I have contacted people literally 12 times and they have never once responded, but guess what? They still place orders. For example, that email that I shared earlier, my monthly email that I sent out, I've already sent 1 email this month. And I've already sent the holiday collection in an email, and I sent it again in this collection. I said, just a reminder, we still have the holiday collection and things are selling out quick, so don't wait. Guess what? 2 hours after I sent that email, I got a $150 order for just items from the holiday collection from someone who clicked on it from that email, who's already seen it, but I followed up again. You guys, people forget. You have to think about when you're doing things. Like, I have literally been trying to remember to buy lip scents from this lady for like 2 weeks, and she keeps reminding me, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot, like I meant to look at the colors and see what I wanted, blah blah blah, you know. So like, you have to be persistent, you have to be consistent, don't give up. You guys, I cannot stress that enough. Like I said, you're giving up on yourself, you're setting yourself up for failure if you give up before you try. Don't tell me that you haven't taught, that nobody wants to buy from you. Don't tell me that you don't have time. Don't tell me that you've talked to everybody. Really? Okay, well, isn't there like billions of people in the world? So I don't think you've talked to everyone, okay? But you know, you have to have those qualities and that mindset to be successful in this or in anything else. And on that note too, I will say again, I know I have said this before, but I do think that it is impossible, and I'm going to say impossible. I think it's impossible to give 100% to 2 direct sales companies. Like, if you're doing 2 direct sales companies, to each their own, but I just don't think that you can give 100% to 2 companies. So I don't recommend ever doing 2 companies. I just had the lady earlier that I was talking to about lip scents. I don't know if you guys have used lip scents, but that's another direct sales company. And I was wanting to buy like 3 lipsticks or something, right? And the lipsticks are ridiculously priced, but they last me forever. So, anyway, she was telling me, well, if you're going to buy 3, you know, we have this join kit that's only $55 and you would get like these 6 colors in it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, you know, I'm sorry. Like, I'm already in a direct sales company. Like, it's a good deal, sure. But I do think that a lot of me being able to have higher PRV every month and to have a lot more team members come join the team and more people ordering from follow-ups, and the kind of success is because I have stayed loyal to Scentsy, and that's part of my mindset, you know. It's like, I'm loyal to Scentsy and that's it. You guys, I even had someone who messaged me the other day and said, do you want to be an affiliate for me this week? And I was like, what does that mean? Like, I don't even, what? An affiliate? And she was like, oh, like, I'm with Unique and I'll give you things to post for 5 days or something, and then I'll give you a free mascara if you post this for the next 5 days, blah, blah. And I was like, no, you know what, I'm sorry, like, thank you, but I don't promote any other businesses besides my own. And you guys, that's just my own opinion, and that's my own way of doing things, but I do think that has a lot to do with some of my success. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that too. But anyways, remember, you think 85,000 thoughts a day, 80% of those thoughts are repeated, and 90% of those repeated thoughts are negative. So you want to make sure that you're really focusing on changing those things. You guys, it's not easy. It's not easy to be positive. I'm not positive all the time. Definitely not positive all the time. But if once you start practicing like gratitude and being thankful and having that positive mindset and having that positive outlook and like saying like, okay, it could be worse. You guys, things could be worse. Things could always be worse. You guys, I know that there are things that seem like it is the end of the world, and I know that there is like some awful, really horrible stuff out there. But guess what, guys? Right now, Erica is on this live training video, and guess what? She's in the freaking hospital. Sorry, Erica, I don't mean to call you out, but you guys, she's in the hospital, and she's still on this live training. Like, come on. You know, like I get it. There are bad things. Like, everyone has bad things that happen to them and bad things and excuses and awful things. Like, I know there are really bad things that happen, okay? But, like, you guys, I'm sorry if your dog peed on the carpet or if your baby puked all over the floor or, you know, if you have a flat tire, like, things could be worse, okay? Things could be a lot worse. And, you guys, look at Lindsay. I don't know if you guys have seen Lindsay's post this month. Lindsay's dad is battling cancer, you guys. So what did she do? She started a Scentsy fundraiser. And you know what she did? She hit director this month. So you guys, don't sit and tell me that you don't have the time to make this work. You guys, Lindsay is crazy busy and she hit director again. And it's just like, there are just so many things that, you know, I think that you just really need to stop and think and take the time to realize that the situation you're in might not be as bad as you think. And that there is still time to do this. Like, you guys, how much time do you think it takes to make a successful Scentsy business? Anyone? How much time do you think? I hear people say like, well, I don't know, like 20 or 30 hours. You guys, I have never worked 20 to 30 hours on my Scentsy business per week in the last 3 years since I started. Ever. And I probably shouldn't say that, but, I mean, there might have been some weeks where I was putting in that much time, but it's just a matter of really making the time that I do have and those hours and minutes that I do have, making them work for me. And it's, you know, if you have a plan and you have a game plan and you have 15 minutes, make those 15 minutes work for you. If you have an hour, make that hour work for you. You guys, get up half an hour earlier, stay up a half an hour later. If you really want to make a business out of this and you want to be successful and do the dang thing, then do the dang thing. Like, it's not just gonna happen if you just sit there and don't do anything about it, or if you give up, or if you tell yourself that you can't do it. So anyways, sorry, I know I talk a million miles an hour. I'm off my soapbox. I'm also going to share Anna Hughes's video about excuses because I think it kind of goes hand in hand with this, and it seriously just like lit me on fire before I did this training. So anyways, guys, that's all I have. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I will actually check right now while we're on here how far away we are from hitting Superstar Director. And you guys, I say we because, like, obviously I couldn't hit Superstar Director by myself. Like, it's a team thing. So we are at 77,577 and we need 80,000. So we're about 2,500 GWV away. So you guys, and seriously, I will not go to bed tomorrow night until I see that number say 80,000. So please, don't put your order in at midnight. But anyways, that's all I've got, you guys. All right, thank you so much. Sorry, this was a little longer than I had planned. And you guys, make that time, have that mindset, right? Get it going. Okay, bye.